A group of men that may have trouble with adjusting to prison are pimps. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist, and I want to take some time to talk about, a particular group of men who may have trouble with adjusting to prison. It's for me, I, worked in a medium security prison, so I can only speak about experience with working with medium security. For maximum and supermax, it might differ depending on where you're at, locations. Everybody's prison is a little bit different. But what I have found, in working with pimps is that they have trouble with adjusting to prison. Number one, they have particularly pimps who manage women. I should be more clear there. So number one, they will have challenges with women who are in authority and who are giving them instructions or orders that they need to follow. They prefer to be the one in charge. So that's number one. Number two is because pimps have usually had and again, in my experience, everybody's different, but they've usually had women sort of, do things for them on the outside, like do all of their errands, give them money, make their life easier, and sort of wait on them hand and foot. They have trouble with that adjustment in jail in prison where nobody's waiting on them hand and foot, but they still command that type of attention. So some of the challenges that could be more specific to that group is like, I'm the man, you're the woman. That sort of, they sort of command that dynamic. And because I'm a man, you need to listen to me and you're going to do what I tell you to do. And along that same mentality can come manipulation. When someone is being manipulative, disrespectful, or out of order, they may try to push the envelope by calling you honey, sweetheart, baby, or that's I would say that's more of a friendlier version, but they can get real disrespectful and call you derogatory names for a woman as well, in that they do that in order to get you. They start with a charm and then they become a lot more aggressive to try and get you in order because they're used to manipulating women and getting women to fall in line. Another challenge is, again, wanting all the attention. So in my experience, in working with that particular group of men, other men who are used to doing hard time, regular time, they're, gang members and things like that. They just want to do their time. There's a different mentality among men like that. Like, men who I don't know, who are street hustlers. We'll say that street hustlers, they may have, unalived some people and done some things like that. They want to, just do regular time. And so they don't really have time for people that talk a lot, because they don't talk a lot. They're more about that life. So they're going to do a lot less talking and do what they need to do, which is the opposite for men who have trafficked women or who have pimped women. They tend to do a lot more talking and trying to schmooze and get you to see things their way, or sucking all of the air out of the room because they want all of the attention. I'm speaking, so you need to pay attention to me. And for other men who are used to doing time, if they're in the room, they can get real agitated with that sort of mentality real quick. It's like, you need to shut up and be a man. And so things can get real volatile when you have men there that are commanding that attention. It's for me, or any other woman who's like leading that, because their whole thing is they want that attention and they want a woman to get in line, and they will continue to, take the room emotionally hostage until they get attention. So they're going to stand up. they're going to be interrupting, they're going to be making a scene until they get that attention, right? So there's that aspect of it, and that causes a real problem for guys that are about prison life. They don't like that at all. They start thinking very violently and wanting to do something to correct that behavior. The other thing that I have found, or that I've experienced in working with men who are pimps, is they like for their time to be comfortable. As comfortable as it can be. They're not used to, they don't want to do the same program as everybody else. So they want a life that's more comfortable. So they'll want a special diet. They'll want to be excused from going to classes. They will, they'll want a more comfortable living situation. So if they can order a cell by themselves, this kind of stuff. Of course, there is a lot of attention around how I don't deserve to be here. I'm a victim of circumstance and woe is me, and I just deserve to have an easier time here. The other way that they can be manipulative or just sort of try to get a lot of attention is have a lot of sob stories about women, particularly in how women have wronged them and how they don't like women, and because women have done this and that to them, and that they have really, had hardships that have come by way of women, and they really, they blame women for, their downfall and what they have incurred. They blame women for going to prison, essentially, that a woman set them up, all this other kind of stuff. And, just sob story after sob story as it relates to women. They also, and again, these are generalized. So, again, it might be different based on your experience in your institution. But also one of the things that I have found is that they don't tend to spend a lot of time with other men. They tend to want to be separate. They don't consider themselves to be part of that crowd. And by that crowd, inmates, they don't really consider themselves to be that way, and they feel like they're better than that, so that there's a real difficulty with adjusting there. So just some food for thoughts in terms of some of the dynamics in jail. So wanted to put that out there. Hope this helps. Thanks so much.